So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So yeah, a big surprise drop today. I didn't think they revealed the New Year Legends this early. When I'm recording this, it's Christmas Eve in Sweden, which is the big day for us. So I'm dressed in Christmas clothes. And yeah, the day is approaching the end, so I thought I'd do one analysis. Before I went to bed, and I decided for Roger and Whitebeard. Cool concept for our duo unit. And yeah, the way I'm going to do this video is first I'll talk about the unit's skills and such, the viability, etc. Then I'll jump into the game and I'll look at some potential support, captain hybrids, and subs. So yeah, if we look at the classes here, it's a slasher striker unit. Roger is int, Whitebeard is psi. In single form, they are still 5 times captains, which is pretty bonkers. Then in duo form, they boost slasher and strikers by 5.5 times attack. Crazy power creep, that's insane actually. 1.2 HP, makes psi int beneficial for slashers and strikers, and resist 1 turn of bind, paralysis, and special bind. So yeah, obviously insane captain, nothing more to say about that. They are basically one of the best legs in the game just due to sheer numbers, but the rest of their kit cements it anymore. I do like that they are class captains only, not some rainbow cap. It does make it a little bit more challenging to team build with them, which in my book makes up for a lot of it. Like if this was a rainbow cap, I'd absolutely hate this unit, but I can live with it here. I still think it should be a 5.25 times attack. Anyway, special. They do have different special. It's the first one since Lufalada does this. So Roger special. Roger and Whitebeard both remove the spear by 20 turns. Roger buffs any attack buffs you have until it becomes a 3 times attack boost for 1 turn. He also boosts color affinity boost by 0.05 plus 0.5 and becomes Roger and Whitebeard for 3 turns. Meanwhile, Whitebeard gives you a 2 times color affinity boost for striker and slasher, and buffs and or boosts you have to 3 times. So yeah, the reason this works is due to their swap, which is like Shank's crew on steroids. It's like both changing adjacent to matching and giving a 1.5 times attack and or boost. So when you do the swap and get the attack and or boost, you can use Roger special, the attack boost gets buffed to 3 times. You can use Viper special, the or boost gets buffed to 3 times. And this does have some interesting application, like say bosses giving weak buffs to you that you have to remove. You don't have to remove them now, you can just buff them to 3 times instead. So yeah, very cool idea for a special. I'm a fan of it, I must say. The super swap is insane as well. Change all orbs into matching and gives a 2 times attack and orb boost for the whole crew. Insane. It's very interesting that this unit as a captain is a class captain, but as a sub it's a rainbow captain. So despite being one of the best caps in the game, I'd argue that they might even be a better sub. Just to everything they bring to the table, they are actually insanely good subs as well, and I really look forward to playing around for them. I'm definitely getting them this Sugo. They also have a interesting last tap, or not that interesting. It's like at the highest level, they change their own slot, including block, into matching, and boost the chain of final hit by +4 chain. So at minimum chain, like that becomes like 6.5 chain boost hit. So pretty substantial. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the design. I think they should have toned down the numbers a bit, but I can live with it, and I do think it's cool that they've decided to focus on duo units like this. I'll absolutely take it, and it will be weird to have like a lots of duo captains being used. So yeah, I look forward to getting them. I already have some ideas for teams to try out, like obviously try them against Arena Luffy, since that's one of the contents that does give you a lower buff that you can just make stronger. I think it's a cool idea for a unique ability, I must say. And yeah, let's jump into the game. I have some support here that you could use with Roger and Whitebeard, so I'm going to go through them one by one. It's a pretty good mix here of what they do. We're going to start with Crocus, who released with the first Roger. And he can be attached here, and when you use him, you get a 50% damage reduction, you get a 20,000 HP heal, and you reduce burn by 2 turns. Pretty damn solid. And can be very useful, like damage reduction is always nice to have. Tertiary Recrutina can be put on any in striker, and when you use a special, you reduce 2 turns of damage threshold. So that's just cool extra utility. I used it recently on Legend Yamato, so this can definitely be useful if you happen to have the Hina. Oden might be the most useful support, since you both get a mono slot and seed reduction, and both can be very useful in different ways. Like resisting special reavers, or just getting more damage. Moving on, we have Chauzu. And yeah, he just removes 2 turns of attack down, and that's obviously super good to have. Yes, especially on a unit that doesn't have a lot of support. So just being able to remove a debuff like this by 2 turns, super good to have. Then we have both the Marco Legends that give healing in different ways. Weema Marco just gives a flat 4000 HP heal, which can be nice in some scenarios. It's definitely niche, but pretty unique as well to have. We2 Marco is even more unique. And the big difference here is that you have the potential to overheal, and you don't need to use a special either, it's for final stage. So yeah, sometimes overheal is useful, so yeah, good option to have. Moving on to some hybrids that you can use as captain together with Roger and Whitebeard. First up, we have the 6+ Carrot. Yeah, I'm not used to that scream yet. And yeah, basically, like, Roger and Whitebeard has such high captain ability that you don't really need that much more damage. So why not run Carrot? Like, you get seed reduction, you ignore defensive effects, you get a lot more matching orbs. She speeds up the team so much, so yeah, this will probably be a nice hybrid to run, and Carrot boosts both slashers and strikers, and with 6+ Carrot, you don't have to think about what 2 classes you have. As long as you're slasher or striker, you're good. You get the 4 times attack boost from Carrot. Moving on, we have the Last Tap Law, and he adds even more matching slots to Whitebeard's Int and Psi. You also get Strength and Quick. So if you run, say, Ori Jackson as well, that's a lot of matching slots in just the captains. And his special also opens up for increased damage taken on enemies, guaranteed. So that's even more damage. And you can even run the Sengoku support, for example, and you can get a chain boost to add even more damage. So yeah, pretty cool. Moving on, we have Oden. But I'm thinking about the 6+ Oden, not the 6-star. 6+ is a big buff, I'll talk about him later. But yeah, just like if you think about how we use Roger and Whitebeard, like they only give buffs for 1 turn. So you want specials for other stages too, and Oden can give a big ore boost for 1 stage for slashers. And then you can also get access to one slots, potentially lock them, like Oden can run the Jinbei support now, for example. Then we have Yamato, and I went with the Int Striker here, since you can potentially run this Yamato as captain, and then have Ulti and Page 1 as sub, which will be amazing, since that combo of 3 units, Ulti and Page 1, Yamato, Roger and Whitebeard, you get amazing amount of buffs and damage. But yeah, Yamato does give the increased damage taken, chain boost, block orb manip, 1 orbs, all stuff that Roger and Whitebeard can't do, so yeah, amazing combo, and 6+ Yamato also works well. Finally, we have Kid, who should probably be a decent sub as well. But yeah, if you think about him as cap, he got reduced CD, so you can save, say, Roger and Whitebeard specials for final boss, and you can maybe use Kid on the stages leading up to that, since his special will be ready earlier, and you can get some attack boost, ore boost and such on the earlier stages as well. You do need to run Mono Striker if you run Kid though. which is fine. Like, Mono Striker is not something you often have the option to run. Moving on to some subs. And Cracker is pretty interesting. He can do a lot of good stuff like block orb manip. Roger Whitebeard can't do that. He can do chain boost. And he can give some color affinity. Only Whitebeard gives color affinity, so this might be useful in some scenarios. So yeah, just a solid unit all around, I must say. Good unit pure up here. It feels like Cracker is one of those units I overlook a lot since he's super good on paper. I added the Shank's crew as well. Their swap is basically Rod and Whitebeard but worse. But it does help with changing adjacent slots. You can put Shanks on a strategic spot to add even more matching orbs every turn. One thing to note though is that the quick form is not boosted by Roger and Whitebeard. But yeah, the main reason I put him here is that he can give the chain lock for 3 turns, which is very strong, of course. Moving on, we got a free-to-play unit here. Raid Buggy Crew. And yeah, he's mainly here for the switch, since he can actually give color affinity to slashers with the swap. So you can swap Roger and Whitebeard and Buggy and you get a ton of buffs. And you can put him like down in the bottom, so he can also sustain himself with matching orbs with the swap. Special wise, not much to talk about. Not the best unit in that regard, so I mainly put him here for the swap since I thought that was pretty cool. Now we have the Kisuna, Soren, Sanji, and they actually pair amazingly with this unit. They do the increase damage taken debuff on enemies. They do damage, which can let you use kosher support for chain boost. They do block orb manip, which Roger and Whitebeard can't do. And they give the chain boundary buff, which obviously Roger and Whitebeard can't do. And if you add kosher to this, you get both the chain boundary and chain boost. You change the block orbs, you get increased damage taken. Like, I didn't realize how good this unit was before checking now. I actually missed that they do damage, which is so good for Koshiro. Finally, we have Rebecca. And yeah, you might need to play around with swaps to get it to work. But basically, you can use the Roger special, Roger's int, and you get the 3 times attack boost. Then you can use Rebecca as long as Captain is Psy, and you can extend it by 2 turns. So you can use like Roger, Friend Captain on stage 4, extend it to final stage, you get a 3 times attack boost. You can swap the other Roger to Whitebeard, use special, get the orb boost. So yeah, that's a pretty cool use. You can even get color affinity there. Finally, some striker subs. Obviously, this is an amazing sub. Like, you just get even more damage with swaps. Like, this is one of the reasons why ult and page 1 was good, like I mentioned earlier. But yeah, just chain lock instead of chain boundary. Also some block orb manip, like, not bad. Or orb manip, not block orb manip. And yeah, solid special too. Just a generic good unit. I put Tsunami here, who is a good unit in general. It's not like she does anything specific here for Roger and Whitebeard, but yeah, she ticks a lot of boxes, can reduce CD, can give color affinity, which might be useful depending on the stage. Can set defense to 0, give a self-proccing conditional. Yeah, just a very solid unit in general. Can even do block orb manip with like relay support or Hatchan support. We got Barton Cavendish here, who looks weird at a glance, but Switch is really solid defensively, which can be nice sometimes. And if you look at the classes of the units, it actually works out because they're either slasher or striker, so perfect. And yeah, special is not that useful, but you can get the damage threshold and not take any damage, which might be useful sometimes. We2 Big Mom actually pairs pretty damn well with Roger and Whitebeard, Similar to Bart and Cavendish, like Big Mom's is either Slasher or Striker always. And yeah, the swap is like Rod and Whitebeard, but worse just for herself. But she does get a guaranteed matching orb at least. But yeah, especially is the nice thing here. Big chain lock, base attack boost. Roddy and Whitebeard can't do that, so this is just extra good damage. Finally, we have Shirahoshi and Manchuri, and I don't feel like I need to explain this one. Just generically good and useful, allows overheal, swap removes a lot of annoying stuff, special is good, some overlap with removing the spear, but otherwise, yeah, I don't need to explain why she's good. Sadly, she doesn't change block orbs, that would have been perfect, but rainbow orbs are useful at least. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.